Hello and welcome to our WIFR FastCast. State line drivers will need to take it nice and easy on their way home with some heavy rainfall expected this evening. Let's toss it over to meteorologist DJ Baker on how much rain we could get and if we can see another round of tricky travel for the weekend. DJ?
Yes, Jake, rain is quickly starting to make its way across the state line. Right now, though, on our Max Storm Tracker, we are seeing some pickups on our reflectivity, but a lot of rain has actually yet to hit the ground as it's still relatively light. But just off to our southwest and central portions of Illinois, well, there is a little bit better moisture. And heck, speaking of better moisture, there is a ton of it currently situated over northern and central portions of Missouri that will affect us here later down the line. Now, over the next hour or two, I do think rain will pretty much be widespread, and by 4 or 5 o'clock, I think this is when the heaviest rainfall is likely going to fall. And of course, this is going to correspond to a lot of us getting off of work and getting onto our evening commutes. So with that in mind, visibility could be reduced and maybe even some ponding in our roads can't be ruled out. Now, I do think it will be a bit more off and on as we head towards the evening hour. So post dinner time, I think travel should be a little bit easier, but again, that's going to have its own question mark, but I'll talk about that here in just a second. First things first, a few realms of thunder cannot be ruled out from this system here this afternoon and this evening. Now, luckily, any severe risk is well down to our south and east, so for us, maybe just a few realms of thunder and really nothing more. But when in terms of rainfall across the region, a good half of an inch is possible pretty much across the state line, so definitely could see some ponding in a few areas. And as we get into later on this evening, winds will be a bit more of a factor, so even though our rain will be lighting up, the blowing rain could potentially once again reduce that visibility as you're driving after dinner time, with some wind gusts out of the south at times close to 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour. Now, if there is one good thing that's going to come from the system, well, yes, we're getting a lot of rainfall. Temperatures not looking too bad, with temperatures likely getting close to that mid to low 50 mark by the time we get close to midnight. So definitely something we can look forward to. But as we head into tonight, winds will slowly but surely shift to be more out of the north and west as the low pressure system that is giving us all this rainfall moves just off to our north and to our east. So with that in mind, temperatures will likely top out in those mid to low 50s around midnight, which will likely be our highs for both today and tomorrow, before it quickly starts to fall back into those mid 30s as we get into tomorrow morning. Now, our Friday, by all means, not looking too shabby, with temperatures topping out in the low 40s with some afternoon sunshine expected. However, another system will make its way through the region as we get into the morning hours of our Saturday, as widespread wintry mix to even snowfall is expected. Now, luckily, a lot of these models have really started to pull back when it comes to overall accumulations. Definitely some good news on our part, as with it, maybe a half of an inch to an inch across the state line, and maybe even a few areas getting up to 2 and at maximum 3 inches of snow. So overall, I don't think we'll see much in terms of travel impact from our system as we get into Saturday morning. The only question is with that, however, is just the timing of it is kind of inopportune, especially if you have any Saturday plans, but at least the travel impacts should be on the minimal side, especially for this time of year. But of course, we're going to be keeping track of that heavy rainfall, some ponding, and maybe even 1 or 2 areas of localized flooding. And of course, this weekend, keeping track of that winter weather system. So all that will be determined as we get throughout the rest of today and into the rest of the forecast period. So with that, I would recommend downloading our WIFR First Alert Weather app, where we'll kind of keep you in the know as we progress throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening, and of course, taking a quick look at that winter weather system over the next couple of days. But for now, Jake, that's a look at the forecast. Going to toss it back over to you.
Absolutely, DJ. Thank you so much for giving us that quick weather update. And obviously, just like DJ said, never a bad idea to download that WIFR First Alert Weather app. That being said, back to our top stories here this afternoon. A 28-year-old Rockford man accused of killing a 27-year-old man could enter a plea Thursday. Ariante Mahone is one of 4 people charged in the death of Chase Higgins. Police say in 2024, Higgins was shot during a large gathering in a parking lot along East State Street, which is west of Perryville Road. He died at the scene, and investigators say a fight between Higgins and the suspects led to the shooting. Enrique Dozal, Jason Bryant, and a teen were also charged in the shooting. 18-year-old Eduardo Solorzano recovers in a hospital after being trapped under his vehicle Wednesday night. Deputies say around 8, Solorzano was driving south on 5 Point Road when he missed a curve and went off the road. His car flipped over and landed in a ditch. Officials say Solorzano was thrown out of the car and trapped under the roof. The teen is also accused of not wearing his seatbelt. 35-year-old Megan Wigg faces several charges. She's accused of crashing her car into a security gate at a DeKalb hospital while drunk. Deputies were sent before 10 Wednesday night to the Kishwaukee Hospital. Security says when they checked on Wigg, she drove away. Deputies would later find the car at Cortland Home, where Wigg admitted to the crime. A barn crash in DeKalb lands a sandwich man behind bars. 40-year-old Jonathan Wingate faces several charges, including driving under the influence. Around midnight, January 8th, deputies arrived at a crash on Soydem Road in Somonauk. While speaking with Wingate, deputies say they smelled alcohol on his breath. Wingate was arrested after performing a field sobriety test and was taken to the DeKalb County Jail. 2 vehicles and a garage are destroyed after a fire Thursday morning. Rockford firefighters were sent after 6 to the 300 block of South 2nd Street. They found the fire damaged the garage and spread to another vehicle and garage in the 400 block of South 3rd Street. The fire was then put out in about 22 minutes and no one was hurt. The fire left around $45,000 in damage. A proposal to the Rockford City Council throws millions of dollars behind renovations on a historic building. The former watch factory on South Madison Street could see an $11.5 million renovation. As a result, the Forest City may provide a $2.7 million forgivable loan to develop it. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley visits the building, which last operated more than 100 years ago, speaking with members of the development team about what the building can be reshaped into.
And you can get an... Hey folks, WIFR's Nathaniel Langley here, and I just got done going through the former watch factory in downtown Rockford. And you can get an exclusive look inside later today on WIFR, and eventually on WIFR.com, as I meet with the developer who hopes to turn the historic building into apartments and says he needs the city's help to do so. Stay tuned.
Changes to Wisconsin liquor laws could stomp the fun out of your next party. After an overhaul to the state's laws, wedding barns are required to obtain a liquor license or a permit to serve alcohol at events, which could significantly impact operations. WIFR's Bria Walters talks with an area wedding planner about if she thinks these extra costs will be passed off to renters and if the rule change will push more weddings into the state of Illinois. And, of course, those stories and more will be coming up in our shows at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Of course, just like DJ mentioned, don't forget to download both of our apps, either the WIFR First Alert Weather app, but we also want you guys to download our WIFR News app as well. I'm just going to leave this QR code up here for just a quick second for you guys, but once you guys do scan this code, it's going to take you to the Google Play Store if you have a Samsung phone, or the Apple App Store if you have an iPhone, and all you're going to have to do is hit allow notifications on those apps. Those are the little alerts that are going to pop up there right on your screen or come down from the top of your screen. All you got to do is just tap on those and it will update or bring you to the latest updated article either on the First Alert Weather app or on the WIFR News app. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you coming up here in a couple of hours for our next FastCast at around 3:30 and WIFR News First to 4. Thanks for watching.